Alright, your focus question is why would you use powers of 10 to write and compare numbers? Why would you use powers of 10? We're going to call that's scientific notation. To write and compare numbers. Why would you use powers of 10, scientific notation, to write and compare numbers? Okay, scientific notation. That's a way of writing a number, a different way of writing a number. The format that it has to fall into is A times 10 to a power. Alright? N has to be an integer, and A has to be greater than or equal to 1, and it's got to be less than 10. Alright, that's the criteria. Scientific notation is A times 10 to the nth power, where A has to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. Alright, this number right here, it's got to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. And then it's times 10 to a power. Okay? Times 10 to a power. So, a couple of examples of numbers that are in scientific notation would be 4.12 times 10 to the 22nd power. That is in scientific notation. 7.1 times 10 to the negative 5th. That is in scientific notation. Now, some examples that are not in scientific notation. 21 times 10 to the 4th. That's not in scientific notation. The first number's too big. Okay? It's got to be greater than or equal to 1 or less than 10. So that's not in scientific notation. 0.234 times 10 to the 3rd. That's not in scientific notation. The first number is too big. I'm sorry, too small. It's got to be between 1 and 10. Alright, so this is not in scientific notation either. First number's got to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. And then it's times the number 10 to a power. Turn the page, please. Alright, writing a number in scientific notation. Okay? So you're going to have a number, and then we're going to put it in scientific notation. Okay, so let's start off with something like 1256. 1256. The easiest way to write a number in scientific notation is to start with your pencil on the decimal point. Okay? 1256 would be 1256.0, but the point 0 doesn't get written. If you put your pencil on the decimal and you start moving it places to where the decimal needs to be when the number's in scientific notation, meaning we're going to move 1, 2, 3 places. Okay? We got to write 1256 as 1.256 times 10, and now we have to do it to a power. Okay? Since this decimal place just got moved 3 places, okay, this goes to the third power. If you get the number 678,000, okay, and you've got to write it in scientific notation, the decimal place in this number right now is right here again. It's at the end. And in this case, this decimal place has got to be moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to right here. So we're going to write this big number as 6.78. It's always times 10. And now we move the decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So if we move the decimal 5 places, it's going to be 10 to the 5th power. Now if you'll notice, both of the numbers that we started with are bigger than 1, aren't they? Both of these numbers are larger than 1. If the number you're dealing with is larger than 1, your power needs to be positive. Okay? Let's try 51,000,000. 51,400,000. Again, the decimal's down here at the end, at the right end of it. So in this case, we got to move 3, 6, 7 places. All right? So we're going to make this 5.14. 5.14. Your first number's got to be between 1 and 10. Times 10. And we moved it 7 places, so it's to the 7th power. All right. Let's try 0.00357. Now your decimal place is all the way on the left. Put your pencil on it, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right. Moving it 3 to the right. So our A value is 3.57. We're times 10. And now our beginning number is less than 1. So our exponent is going to be negative here. It's going to be negative 3. Negative 3. If the number you're beginning with is less than 1, your power is going to be negative. 0.286 0, 0, 0. Again, put your pencil on the decimal point. We only got to move it once. Our A value is 2.86 times 10, and that's to the -1 power. Alright, so that's given a number in standard notation and writing it in scientific notation. Okay? The second part of the assignment is going to be getting a number that's in scientific notation, and you have to write it in standard notation. So let's say you're given you're given 5.5 times 10 to the 6th. 5.5 times 10 to the 6th. Okay? So that's in scientific notation, and now you need to write it in standard notation. So take the number, all right, and just rewrite it without a decimal. 5, 5. And now, since this is to the positive 6th power, our number in standard notation has got to be bigger than 1. All right? So put your pencil where the decimal place would be. All right? Just set it right here now. And we're going to go 6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And put a decimal point. And now in each of these little cups that you made, you just add a 0. And then you go back to the left every 3 and you put a comma. 5.5 million. (3.1) times 10 to the -4. This is going to be a number less than 1. So write your 3-1. Put your pencil where the decimal is, and now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. Put your decimal point. Fill in with zeros. And we don't put commas when we're going less than 1. How about one more of each? I'll put it up there. You try it. (4.875) times 10 to the 5th. I'll put 2 problems up here. I want you to try them and then look up and check your work, please. Any questions? All right, your assignment for today, page 450. 11 through 16, and then page 451, 18 through 29. Please check the odds in the back as you're working.